Hello, everybody, and welcome to Molehill Mountain, episode 258. Andrew Eisen here. I would like, if I may, and I may, because my show, to begin tonight talking about... Tried to roll an R and it didn't work. Let me try again. That was terrible. Alright, third time's a charm. Nope, it's not happening. River City Girls. Imagine I very classily rolled my R's at the beginning and the end, because there's an R towards the end of that, too. So, River City Girls. See, this is why I did terrible in Spanish class, because I couldn't pronounce the, R. So, for me, the difference between pero and perro is terrible. So don't ask me to speak Spanish because I'm bad at it. River City Girls. So, this week I saw a trailer for, please don't hurt myself. Thank you, Lindy. I saw a trailer for River City Girls 2. And they used the theme song from River City Girls 1. Which, good choice, because the theme song for River City Girls 1 is so good, it's almost worth buying the game for by itself. Fun game. I really enjoyed the game, but man, hell of a theme song. And it's a title song, too, which means that it's the River City Girls theme. Actually, the title of the song is River City Girls. It's about the River City Girls, so it's a title song, not just a theme song. Everything should have a title song. Title songs make everything better. How much better would Dark Souls be with a title song? Huh? Yeah. Alright, so, so I don't really have much to say about River City Girls 2 because it's not out yet. Haven't played it. I'm sure it'll be fun. Looks more the same and cool. But I would like to talk about the theme song because it's great. So if you haven't heard it, it's good. It is a it is an up-tempo rock song. It is damned catchy. It's well sung. It has really clever and funny lyrics. And honestly, it was it does go a long way to really capturing your interest and bringing your attention to the game. And then you see it. And it's got lovely pixel art and looks like a fun little brawler, and you're like, yeah, I want to check that out. But, I say, the River City Girls title song is a disappointment because it does not live up to its full potential, I say. So, when I first saw the trailer for the original River City Girls, I think it was only like a 30-40 second spot. So, not a lot of room for a full song, right? So you really only got the first verse right up into the hook. So, I can see in my mind's eye my audience going like, oh no, he's going to try to sing it, isn't he? Yeah, he is. If I can remember it. A, something like that. A couple cycles off, but not too bad. What are the lyrics? We're gonna fight you with all our might to win back our boyfriends. We love them so. We'll take the world on and sing this dope song. Don't mess with us. We're the River City Girls. Girls. Only an octave higher and much more prettierly sung. Prettierly. Yes, prettierly. And River City Girls, and you're like, oh my god, that's so amazing! I'm going to buy the game just so I can hear the rest of the song. You know what? Give me just a moment. I bet we could listen to the rest of the song. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Is this it? Yeah, that's it. Is that coming through? Could you hear that? Hang on. Let me. Uh-huh. Let me know in the chat if you heard it. Da 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 da. You heard it? Cool, cool. Hang on. This is gonna be great. This is gonna probably is it way forward? I think it's way forward. Please don't copyright claim my entire podcast just because I'm going to play your nifty song. That would be a dick move. Don't be a dick. I bet you're not a dick way forward. So I expect no dickishness. So yeah, here we go. I said A, right? Ah! Okay, so that was in the trailer. I was like, okay, I gotta hear the rest of this. So let's listen to the rest of this. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay. There is no rest of the song. It's 30 seconds of genuine awesomeness followed by about a minute of instrumental. And that is a damn shame. That makes me very sad. Now, that doesn't make me dislike River City Girls. I like River City Girls quite a bit. But I can't tell you how disappointed I was. When I sat through the eye catch, when I fired up the game, I sat through the eye catch. I'm like, okay, we're going to get verse 2 or a bridge. And no, it's just another minute of instrumental. I mean, the instrumental's fine, but man, you can't just do one verse with the refrain and call it a day, especially when it's that good. What were you thinking? This has upset me greatly. Where's the rest of the song? I need it. Please don't copyright claim my podcast. Because it's really good. It deserves more. I hope in the sequel it gets a second verse. And, maybe by the third or fourth game, we will have a full song with, verse 1, verse 2, chorus, verse 3, chorus, bridge, chorus out or something, Oh well. So let's see what else is on my list. Oh hey, remember a week or so ago when I got copyright claimed by NBC Universal for the stream I did of Ratchet and Clank back like 6 months ago. Back in the spring, I one of my Sunday streams, I Sunday streamed Ratchet and Clank. And Lindy says, "Is this originally in Japanese?" The song, I doubt it. The Kunio-kun games are a Japanese IP, but River City Girls, so far as I know, is developed by WayForward, an American company. So I would imagine that the song was written in English. I don't know for sure though. I do know that there is Japanese voice acting. Like the trailer for River City Girls 2 is all in Japanese, so maybe? Don't know. I'll have to look that up. Don't know. I would love to compare the two. I mean, I had a lot of fun comparing like the Japanese and English versions of what's the song in Mario Odyssey? Jump Up Superstar. Isn't there a? Doesn't Smash Brothers Ultimate also have a vocal track to its title song? Well, it's not a title song, but it's its main song. I think it does. I like comparing different versions of the same song. Is my point. So anyway, NBC Universal not just copyright claimed my my stream of Ratchet and Clank, they took my video down. Well, that might seem kind of odd, considering that I was streaming the video game and not the movie. NBC Universal didn't have anything to do with the video game. So, let me share something with you. Boop. Hi, Andrew Eisen, from my good friends at YouTube. After reviewing your dispute, NBC Universal has decided to release their copyright claim on your YouTube video. The video's monetization settings have now been restored. Also, the video is now available to be watched again. They didn't just claim the monetization; they took the video down. Now, hello. Now, to be fair to NBC Universal, who cleared the lowest bar imaginable, it agreed with my dispute and released its claim. Its fraudulent claim, to which it had no claim, because it doesn't own the copyright to this game. What could have happened is I could have made a dispute, it could have rejected that dispute, and then I would file an appeal, and then it would sit on it and just let it time out after 30 days. That's pretty much always how these things have gone in the past. I think this is the first time I've ever seen one of these companies go, oh, we're in the wrong. We'll just let that one go then. So, I mean, good on ya. Shame on YouTube for allowing this fraudulent claim to go forward in the first place when all it needed to do was say, yeah, you don't own the copyright to that. I don't know, YouTube, maybe you should demand that someone who copyright claims a work provide some evidence that it owns the copyright. Because NBC Universal does not. And in fact, so far as I can tell, NBC Universal doesn't have much at all to do with the movie either. Because I just kind of assumed that NBC Universal probably released or distributed it. No. No. Nope, it was, let's see here, it was made by Rainmaker Entertainment and produced by PlayStation. In association with some other production companies like Gramercy Pictures, Film Financial, Peak Distribution Partners, Blockade Entertainment, CNHK Media, Cinema Management Group, and there you go. So, now you might think, okay, well, surely NBC Universal was the U.S. theatrical distributor of the movie. No, that was Focus Features. So I'm on IMDb, and I'm on the company credits page, showing all 88 company credits. And they're not in the production company. So let's see. Distribution. Focus Features was USA. Maybe they distributed it in Bulgaria? No, that was A+ Films. Okay. How about Mexico? Or Chile or Argentina? No, that was Diamond Films. Okay. Slovakia? Maybe NBC Universal distributed the film in Slovakia. So let's see. No, that was Indigo Films. Well, shoot! What did NBC Universal have to do with the Ratchet and Clank movie in which it felt justified in not just claiming but removing my video of the video game, not the movie? Oh, there they are. There they are at the very bottom of the list. Universal Pictures Home Entertainment distributed the movie on DVD and Blu-ray in the US. So they were the the home video distributor. Yeah. So yeah, NBC Universal, nice of you to acknowledge that you were in the wrong here and release your claim on my video, to which you have absolutely zero claim. Because again, even though you did handle the home video distribution for the movie in the United States, I wasn't streaming the movie. I was streaming the video game, which is based on the movie, which was made at the same time in the movie, in collaboration with the people making the movie. But you didn't make the movie, NBC Universal, at all. You just distributed it in the US on home video. So, yeah. But I would just like to say that I won. Me, Internet Nobody, I won again. So add NBC Universal to Sony, Warner Brothers, and Nintendo. Someone else. I'm missing someone else, aren't I? Who I've beaten. Ha. Alright. Now that I'm finished gloating... Hi, Jared. Did a senior project on the topic of YouTube's bad system. I bet that was fun. Now that I'm done gloating about how right and awesome I am... Let's talk about other stuff. Let's see. What do I have on my list here? Oh! Sony. Sony. So, Sony, my good friend Sony, emailed me. I'm sure no one else. I'm sure Sony, being close personal friends, of course, was just being polite and emailed me specifically to notify me that the PlayStation Store for the PS3 and the PS Vita devices was gonna change a little bit. How is it changing? Well, let me read the email. Sony and I are, we're like that. Sony would not mind if I read its personal email to me, not a mass email that's sent to everybody. This one's mine. It was addressed to me. It says, what's changed? Well, starting on October 27th this year, you can no longer use a credit or debit card or a payment method such as PayPal to buy digital content or add funds to your wallet when visiting the PlayStation Store on your PS3 or PS Vita. Oh. Shoot. Well, good golly, how am I supposed to buy games on the PS3 or Vita now? Well, Sony, helpful, my good friend who emailed me personally, goes on. Should you wish to buy digital content for your PS3 or PS Vita, you must first add sufficient funds to your wallet. Okay, but you just said I can't add funds to my wallet. Oh, but that's just on the PS3 and Vita, you see. You can add funds by redeeming a PlayStation Store gift card via your PS3 or PS Vita. Or using a credit card, debit card, PayPal, or other available payment method using a desktop or mobile device or a PS4 or a PS5 console. So, in order to buy games on the PS3 or Vita, I have to put money in my wallet. But the only way to put money in my wallet is to do it on a completely different platform. Really? Is there any other way to buy digital PS3 or PS Vita content, Sony? Well, Sony, being close personal friends who sent me a personal private email, said no. You can only buy digital PS3 and PS Vita content by adding funds to... My microphone's in the way, which is why I have to lean. Funds to your wallet as described above, then accessing the PS Store directly from your PS3 or PS Vita. Okay, well, that seems kind of odd, you might say. Why would Sony suddenly, arbitrarily, completely out of the blue, suddenly decide to make the PS3 and Vita storefronts worse? I mean, what's the upside here? This doesn't seem to be a trade-off for any functionality. This just makes it much more inconvenient to use. I mean, it's just so weird coming out of the blue like that, with nothing in the recent past, say like spring of this year, that could possibly have indicated what this might be based on. Because just looking at this, one might think, it's almost like Sony, I don't know, it's weird, but it almost like Sony wants to make the PS3 and Vita storefronts really frustrating to use to discourage people from buying stuff on it. I mean, why would it want to do that? I mean, if the PS3 or Vita storefronts were sufficiently frustrating to use, people would stop using them. And, I mean, if no one's using them, then you may as well not have them. Back in March, end of March, Sony announced that it was closing the PS3 and PS Vita stores. They announced that it would be closing August 27th. Interesting, it's the 27th of October now that they're making this change. Before, they were completely shuttering the PS3 and Vita stores on August 27th. People, Anime Momo, hello. People didn't like that. They didn't like that at all. And so, a couple weeks later, Jim Ryan, another close personal friend of mine who's the president of Sony Interactive Entertainment, said, recently we notified players that PS3 and PS Vita devices, the PlayStation stores on those devices would end this summer. Upon further reflection, however, it's clear we made the wrong decision here. So today, I'm happy to say that we will be keeping PlayStation Store operational for PS3 and PS Vita devices. Ha 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 ha! We initially came to the decision to end purchasing support for PS3 and PS Vita. It was born out of a number of factors, including commerce support challenges for older devices and the ability for us to focus more of our resources on newer devices where a majority of our gamers are playing on. We now see that many of you are incredibly passionate about being able to continue purchasing classic games on PS3 and Vita for the foreseeable future, so I'm glad we were able to find a solution to continue operations. And that solution we found was not doing a thing. We thought, we brainstormed, we worked long and hard and figured out if we don't actually do anything, nothing happens. I'm glad, he continues, we can keep this piece of our history alive for gamers to enjoy while we continue to create cutting-edge new game worlds for PS4, PS5, and the next generation of VR. Thanks for sharing your feedback with us. We're always listening and appreciate the support of our PlayStation community. So here we are 6 months later, and PlayStation has removed significant functionality from the PlayStation and Vita stores, making them a lot more cumbersome and difficult to use. Almost as if they're trying to frustrate purchasers so they'll stop using the system so they can point at the lack of people using the system and say, well, no one's using it, guess we gotta turn it off then. We see you, Sony. We see you. Lovely seeing you too, Anime Momo. Hello. Oh, by the way, thanks to awesome folks like you, including Anime Momo, we're a month out from Extra Life. And if you look up here in the upper left, we've already raised $225. Awesome. Now, keep in mind that we're still a month away, so if you are planning on donating, you have plenty of time. If you would rather donate during the marathon, That is absolutely fine. You do not have to donate, do vote, but you don't have to donate early. You don't have to donate before the marathon, during the marathon. Perfectly fine. So, we are well on our way. We haven't hit the first stretch goal is at $500, and that's the one that extends the marathon to 25 hours. So noon, because daylight savings happens over that night, so it'll be noon to noon. So, but plenty of time, plenty of time. All right, so hey, you done heard of that Marvel's Avengers? Developed by Crystal Dynamics and published by Square-Enix. Almost said Sony, but Square-Enix. Yeah, it's a thing. So this week I was looking at the blog, and I completely lost it. Oh, here we are. So looking at the development blog, there's a marketplace update. You see, Marvel's Avengers from Square-Enix and Crystal Dynamics has a marketplace where you can buy stuff, but don't worry, it's all cosmetic. I mean, Crystal Dynamics said itself back on August 27th, 2020, and I quote, We've also committed that content purchasable with real money in Marvel's Avengers will be aesthetic-only editions, which will ensure we can keep the game fresh for years to come. I'm reading this. It's actually still on Marvel's, or Crystal Dynamics Marvel's Avengers page, the 8/27/2020 entry. We're committed that content purchasable with real money in Marvel's Avengers will be aesthetic only. Aesthetic only. So whatever updates they made to the marketplace this week, you can be confident it's aesthetic only. So let's see what was changed. All right, marketplace update. We got some new skins. Skins, lots of skins. Oh, what's this? We added a consumable category in the marketplace where you can purchase heroes, catalysts, and fragment extractors. Consumables. Consumables don't sound very aesthetic. You can purchase a consumable with a 1-day duration for 100 credits, a 3-day duration for 250 credits, or a 7-day duration for 500 credits. What does that mean? Well, let's see. 500 credits is $4.99. Okay. All right. Well, what the hell is a hero's catalyst? Well, according to this wiki, hero's catalysts increase the amount of XP you earn. Oh, it's an XP booster, is it, Crystal Dynamics? Really? What was it you said back in August of 2020? I have it highlighted. I have it bookmarked. Let me see. We're committed that content purchasable with real money in Marvel's Avengers will be aesthetic only. But now you've added a consumable category in the marketplace where you can purchase Heroes Catalysts, which are XP boosters, and Fragment Extractors, which actually I had a really difficult time figuring out what the hell those were. But Fragments, as far as I can tell, are the currency that you trade to vendors for new gear and items. So my takeaway is with real-world money, you can now buy Fragments so that you can trade it in-game to get stuff. Gear and items. Which would affect gameplay. So, more than cosmetic. So, did Crystal Dynamics lie? I'm hurt. I thought these giant companies that make millions and millions of dollars were my friend. I thought I could trust you, Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix. I thought your word was bond. I need ice cream. Would you believe me if I told you it was even worse? It's worse. Let's examine how. So, with the last story with Sony, upon reflection, if you think of the recent past, you might be able to see some things that happened that led us to current events. We saw Sony try to take down the PS3 and Vita stores, and people complained, so they said, whoa, 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 okay, we were wrong, stores stay up. So now they're slowly dismantling the stores. Okay. Well, were there any hints in the past 6 months or so? Momo says, what kind of ice cream? That's a good question. Actually, I'm not the biggest fan of ice cream, but I like mints. So mint flavors, spearmint, peppermint, mint. So like mint chocolate chip is a really good one. For me anyway. I know some people can't stand mint. But yeah, that'd be good. You know, peppermint ice cream with actual, chunks of peppermint in there. Num, num, num. So let us look at the recent past and see if we can find anything that might have led up to Crystal Dynamics going back on its word and selling non-cosmetic XP boosting items on its marketplace. If you look at its development blog from March 3rd of this year, it talks about reworking XP gain, experience points gains in the game. It says, we'll be increasing the amount of XP needed to level up, starting from around level 25. Now, it's a fairly long post, but what they're saying is, once you reach level 25, it's going to take longer to gain XP. Now, keep in mind, this is for a game that has already been heavily criticized for being an ungodly grind. And back in March, they said, hey, starting at level 25, you're leveling too fast. We're gonna pump the brakes on that a bit. Well, nobody liked that. So they clarified and said, the XP required between levels didn't scale well. The problem we were seeing and hearing, because I'm sure someone was definitely complaining about leveling up too fast. I can imagine Crystal Dynamics' phone just absolutely ringing off the hook from thousands upon thousands of gamers calling them up and say, hey, I'm leveling my character way too fast. I have no doubt that totally happened. So the problem we were seeing and hearing was that you would immediately get more skill points than you had time to review, apply, and get used to before embarking on your next mission and gaining the next few levels. Can you see the issue here? We want people to level up. We want to see more people level up more heroes. But we don't want the leveling up experience to be too overwhelming or diminish exploring each skill purchase. We also tuned the game to make early leveling slightly faster. So, okay. So we have a game that was widely criticized as being a grindy slog. And then Crystal Dynamics says, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make it take even longer for you to grind. We're going to increase the level gain for the first half, levels 1 to 25. But after that, we're going to slow it down to make it take really long. And if that doesn't make any sense, you're right. That doesn't make any damn sense. Until this week, when they introduced XP boosters to the marketplace. Now, I'm not saying Crystal Dynamics lied about aesthetic-only sales on the marketplace, and that it was throttling XP gain just so it could sell you XP boosters. I'm not... No, that is exactly what I'm saying. I am exactly saying that. That is exactly what I'm saying. Crystal Dynamics, Square-Enix, we see you. We see you. Oh, people are complaining, literally complaining to us about how fast they were leveling up. Really? So we made the first levels faster and the last ones longer in a game that people are actually complaining takes too goddamn long to level. It's leveling so fast. We're doing you a favor by slowing down how much it levels. Oh, by the way, if you give us money, we'll increase how fast it levels. Come on. Come on. Do you think I have the memory of a goldfish? Do goldfish actually have really poor memories? Am I being prejudiced against goldfish? I mean, I don't know if goldfish have bad memories. It's just what I've heard, but maybe it's just a stereotype, and I'm a really bad person. Sorry, goldfish. I'll try to do better. I could be one of those persons who is like, I'm an ally to goldfish. Why, I never on a drunken dare swallowed a live goldfish. And goldfish are like, oh, yes, thanks for clearing that low bar. Alright. Do I have other things to talk about tonight? Oh, I do. Well, since we're talking about Avengers, let's talk about What If? Episode 9. The final episode of the What If show on Disney+. Which was the second... so episode 8 and episode 9 are a two-parter. So overall, I was pretty pleased with how it ended. What it does is... horrible things happen in episode 8, landing on a cliffhanger. Ultron's about to take over the multiverse, or will actually destroy it. So the Watcher gathers all our main heroes from the previous episodes. So, Peggy Carter, and Star-Lord T'Challa, and Party Thor. And so it takes all of the starring heroes from the previous episodes and Gamora. And I was sitting there thinking, well, this is weird. We got Peggy Carter, who's the first episode. We've got T'Challa Star-Lord, who's the second episode. We've got the Doctor Strange, who destroyed his entire universe in the fourth episode. We've got what was episode 6? Killmonger from episode 6. We've got Thor from episode 7. And then we've got Gamora, who's from... Was she in the T'Challa episode? I don't remember her there. Her sister Nebula was there, with her fabulous golden locks. Warren, hey! Don't see you around much. How you doing? So I asked Twitter, because I was too lazy to look it up. And I said, am I forgetting something? Am I getting old? I mean, I know I'm getting old, but am I getting forgetful too? Or was there like another episode that just they didn't finish? And according to someone on Twitter, and some of the subsequent research I did, yeah, there was a 10th episode starring Gamora, and there was a COVID outbreak at the animation studio, and they had to shut down, so they never finished that episode. But maybe we'll get to see it in season 2. And that's a shame, because I'm sure it's a really cool episode. From what I hear, it's one of the lighter episodes, which was probably needed because What If does have a string of darkness to it, because you have the fun Peggy Carter one, then you have the fun T'Challa Star-Lord one. But then, let's not just raise my middle finger, so we're going to 3 here. So the third episode is, what if all the Avengers were murdered? And then the fourth one is, what if Doctor Strange destroyed the entire universe? It's like, I made a joke after episode 4, that one. I'm like, well, pour one out to all the parents who let their children stay up late to watch this episode of What If, because they're probably all bawling their eyes. Doctor Strange and everybody died. Episode 5 was the zombie apocalypse. Episode 6 was Killmonger kills Tony Stark, who dies in almost every single episode. One thing I liked about episode 9 is Tony Stark was in it and he didn't die. I mean, he's not in it very long. He's in there for about 10 seconds, but he doesn't die, so that's something. So I think the Gamora episode, if it's as lighthearted as I hear, stuck in the middle of those, would have really helped the pacing, because for about a stretch of 4 or some episodes in a row, it gets kind of dark. I mean, yeah, the zombie one is predominantly pretty goofy, but the premise is kind of dark. Nevertheless, episode 9 does not take time to breathe. It's basically gather up all the heroes of the previous episodes and beat on Ultron until he's dead. Oh, and Black Widow from the first part of that 2-parter. She's there too. She's not really recruited, but she does show up because they end up brawling on the world that she's in. It's got a nice ending. I won't spoil it. I do like the way it resolved. It's fun. It's actiony, but man, it just moves at a breakneck pace and does not stop to breathe. Which is more an observation than a criticism, but there you have it. So overall, What If I quite enjoyed. I still don't care for its aesthetic. For the actual animation style it's using, I don't find it particularly attractive. But maybe they've got it under their belt now, and season 2 will be much better. We shall see. Okay, moving on. So the final character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Which, not to brag, well, actually absolutely to brag, but, well, I got that exactly right, didn't I? Which I think I talked about last week or the week before. Yeah. Who'd I predict? Oh, I predicted Sora. Now, I said it should have been Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. I think she's earned her place in the pantheon of video game heroes more than Sora from Kingdom Hearts. But I did say that it's probably going to be Sora. Another dude with a sword. Someone pushed back. It's like, he doesn't use a sword. I said, Keyblade's a sword. But what's funny though is I was going to brag on Twitter, but the way I phrased it but I phrased my prediction on Twitter wrong. So I phrased it in a way that said, what I meant to say was, it should be Lara Croft, but it's going to be Sora. What I meant to say was, if Nintendo wants to do another dude with a sword, I would think that they'd go with Travis Touchdown from the, recently released No More Heroes 3. What I actually wrote, though, was I expect Travis. So kind of hard to brag when I phrase it in a way that says I'm expecting Travis over Sora. So Eh. But you watched Molehill Mountain. You know what I said last week. I got it right. Just like everybody else did. I think that was like the Keyblade. It's a key. It's a key blade. It's got a hilt, a blade, a pommel, a guard. It's a sword. But I mean, I could totally see people arguing that, you know, it's not a sword. It's closer to like a club. It's a blunt weapon. You beat people. You can't stab and you can't slash. You just bludgeon people with it. But I'm not interested in arguing that. Nevertheless, fine addition. I still say that Lara Croft earned that spot more than Sora did. And I really should have gone ahead and made a we'll get some Kingdom Hearts games prediction, because that's what we're getting. But I didn't, so I can't brag about that. So I think next time, for next Smash Brothers, you know, where do they go from here, right? Smash Brothers Ultimate, it's got like 80-some fighters in it. What do they do? Do they just do less fighters? Here's my idea. Super Smash Brothers, the B Team. And it's just all of the second tier video game heroes. You know, like Arrow the Acrobat, Booger Man. You know, some of the Jared says they're on the cloud for the Switch. Yeah, the Kingdom Hearts ones, yeah. I haven't tried any cloud stuff. I don't know. I have a suspicion that probably doesn't work well, but I really don't know. But yeah, Starro, not Starro. Who's the Rizar, right? Little star dude. Who's the Kamikaze? The squirrel. Who's the squirrel? Trying to remember. You know, the B Team. all of the Gex the Gecko. There you go. Cool spot. You know, all the ones who were trying to make mascot platformers and were trying to make someone a thing and never really worked out. You know, the characters you recognize, especially if you're my age, but don't really care about. Like, if they ever brought them back, you wouldn't be excited. You'd just be like, okay, but why? You know, so Smash Brothers, the B Team. That's where I think they should go with it, because it gives you a completely new cast of characters to work with and the opportunity to do some market research into what we should bring back and what we should not bother with. So if they do that, then I'm gonna brag some more. All right, and finally, last topic for tonight. I played the Tales of Arise demo. And then I stopped because it's awful. I'm not saying Tales of Arise is awful. I'm saying the demo is awful. No idea how representative of the full game it is, but woo, man, does that demo have issues. Large, lengthy, complex RPGs can be notoriously difficult to demo. You might think, just let me play the first hour. For a lot of RPGs, the first hour can be very slow. You might not even see combat in the first hour of a lot of RPGs. In fact, the first 20 minutes may just be cutscene. It may just be kind of wandering around a town talking to people. I don't know how Tales of Arise starts, but the demo does not start at the beginning. No, it drops you in probably like 10 hours into the experience at least, because everyone's like level 30. 25 or 30, somewhere around that, and you've got a party of 5 people. And the idea behind that, I imagine, is, well, we want to fast forward to the good stuff. We want to show you this big elaborate combat system with all of your party members running around and throwing giant fireballs and stuff. I get that. But there's a problem with that. I don't know how to work anything because I haven't been playing the game for 10 or 20 hours. So it's just a big mess and I don't know what I'm doing. Jared says it's a good game. It's very slow in the beginning. Oh, there is combat in the first 10 minutes. I would imagine that you are a party of one, maybe two people. That first combat encounter is probably just you, or just you and and one companion. That's my guess. Let me know. So that's nothing against the game, but that does make it very difficult to get into a demo when they drop you in to the middle, where most players would have 10 to 20 hours of experience with the combat system, so that they know how things work. So it's certainly flashy. There's a lot going on, but I know what the hell I was doing, and it didn't seem to matter much either. So I picked a character who was a lady with a big shield and a big-ass club. I'm like, yeah, bop things on the head. That's what I want to do. Don't remember her name. But how she plays is you can block, or you can tap one of the shoulder buttons to do a smackety smack combo. And that's it. As far as regular, it's just the same combo. It's just the general action button. Now, one of the face buttons is jump. The other three are your big magic attacks, which are on cooldown timers. So I guess the idea is to hit a big magic attack and then do the regular combo until you can do another one. On the other side of the control, on the plus pad, you can call on your teammates to do a big attack. And that's on a cooldown timer too. But here's the thing. Blocking seems to be completely pointless because none of the enemies ever attacked me. Ever. They just kind of stood there. They wandered around a bit, but they didn't seem to actually be fighting. Actually, I stood there with my, facing them with my shield out, trying to see how blocking worked, and no one ever hit me, which made the encounters really boring. And there's just you have 4 other people wandering or jumping around, throwing spells. It is a visual mess, which, if you jump in at that point of the game, is very difficult to parse. I imagine if you play the game from the beginning, you slowly add party members and functionality, and you start building the knowledge needed to parse all this garbage. So I quickly grew bored of my regular attack string, because it's just the same 4-hit combo over and over. You're just kind of hitting the button, and it doesn't do a hell of a lot of damage. Well, I guess that's supposed to encourage you to use the heavy hitting magic spells and stuff, but I was kind of bored with it. And I think that's more of a result of dropping me in the middle of the game. I don't think that's an indication of a bad combat system, really. I think that's just a drawback of dropping me into the game in the middle. Demo starts 20 hours into the game. Yep. So. Oh, okay. You say I don't use her. I use MC. Don't know which one that is. But she got a good look. She got a big stick. She hits things with it. Hide behind a shield, hit things in the head with a stick. I'm like, that looks great. At least the demo does that thing where it does 2 things in cutscenes that bug the hell out of me. Number 1 is, while the dialogue is going, their lips are flapping even though there's no voice dialogue. Which is weird. It's weird to see someone's lips flapping in silence. It's a lot more palatable if the dialogue makes noise as it writes on the text box, like you know, or the banjo kazooie, that kind of a thing. But it's really weird when the text just scrolls and the mouths flap and there's no sound. It's not a deal breaker by any means, but it's unnerving to me. The other thing, which I hate even more, is that thing where each character has like a dozen canned voice lines, really short voice clips, like, okay, let's go. Oh. That kind of a thing. They have about a dozen different exclamations and reactions that they can make. And what the game does is a lot of times when they talk, they will pick the closest one to what they're actually saying. So your character will say, "That's nice." But what the box says is, "There's a monster over there that we should attack." I hate that so much. Stop doing that. This game has a real issue with loading between areas. The aesthetic is nice. It's colorful. I like that. But holy God, the textures are terrible. Do not walk close to any walls, particularly organic surfaces like cliff faces and rock faces. Whew, that looks bad up close. Also, this game has some of the worst pop-in I have ever seen in a modern game. I mean, when it loads a new scene, like you transition between areas and it fades up on the new scene, you're like, here's the thing. Tree, plant, bush, just pop, pop, pop. I'm like really close, not like far away details. I mean, fairly close in the foreground. That is some of the worst load management, LOD, level detail management. Well, actually, that's not level detail management. That's flat out pop-in. That's some of the worst I have seen in a modern game in a while. That was surprising. That may just be the demo. I don't know. So I walked into a new area, and I looked down the path, and there was a dude standing on a bridge. I thought, and he had the little icon, I'm a quest giver, come talk to me. I'm like, I'll talk to you in a minute. I'm going to walk over here and pick flowers. So I walked over there, and suddenly I was in a cutscene talking with some dude. I'm like, who the hell is this? Where was he? Is it a random NPC encounter? No. The game warped me all the way over to the dude by the bridge. It did not like the fact that I went over to pick flowers. It grabbed my ass and dragged me over to the guy by the bridge. I do not like that. I do not like that at all. The dialogue is terrible. Oh my God, this is really embarrassingly bad dialogue. I wish I could remember some to give an example, but it just did not retain any of it. But I mean, there were several times when I went, ugh. I was like, ugh. It made me flinch. What made me turn it? 'Cause, again, I only played it for probably 12 minutes. And I was like, nope. No, this is not for me. I'm not liking this at all. So, unfortunately, the Tales of Arise demo, again, I'm only talking about my experience with the demo, not the game. That does not sell me on the game at all. Now, granted, I've not generally been a fan of the Tales series, period. They kind of leave me cold. Like, Symphonia is the only one I've played all the way through, and even then I'm kind of meh on that title. It's like the most enthusiastic critique I can muster for that game is it's okay. Hey, Chaos. Talking about Tales of Arise, the demo. Jared said, would I stream or review it if they bought it for me? It doesn't run well on the PlayStation? Well, that would explain the longer than expected scene transitions and the amazing pop-up. Um, maybe later. I mean, if you really want me to, if you really, I would like I'm genuinely curious to try the game from the beginning to see how it works because man, dropping anyone in the middle of almost any RPG, that's gonna be rough. Um, and I've heard a lot of great things about Tales of Arise. Um, I don't know about streaming it, but if you bought it for me, I'd definitely at least try to play it. But I mean, I'd certainly hate it if I ended up hating it. But maybe not now because we've got the Extra Life charity event in a month, and I'm already playing a couple of really big games right now. So now is not the best time. So maybe if you really want me to experience, wait till it drops to $30 and pick it up. So you're not spending too terribly much on it. I don't know. Let's see. Jared says, I don't want to buy something from a series that you have bad taste for. Yeah, I've only played one game, played through one game in the series, and I've kind of watched it from the outside. Like Berseria looked interesting to me. I thought the premise of that game was really interesting. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I was really excited to try the demo for Arise because I know a lot of people loved it. I was like, oh god, this is not doing it for me at all. Granted, I've been in a bad mood for the last 2 weeks because of life issues, but and that may have something to do with it. So I might go back to Arise demo um, later and see if I see if approaching it with a fresh set of eyes changes anything. So yeah, think about it. So, but anyway, certainly interesting experience. Or maybe my PlayStation 4 is starting to die and couldn't run the game. I don't know. But so that's what I've been doing this week. I guess the conclusion is the River City Girls theme song needs another verse. Needs to be longer because it's good. Um, I mean, golly, even all the music in Gem and the Holograms is longer than that. This song's only like 35, 40 seconds long, plus a minute of instrumental. Hang on a second. All right, Momo, or no, Chaos says, anyone get Metroid Dread? Yeah, I did. And it's really shiny because it's still in its cellophane wrapper, and it's staying that way so I can resist the urge to play it. Because I'm going to play it during the Extra Life charity event. This is going to be the main game for the Extra Life charity event. And I really want to play it now, but I can wait. I mean, I can wait. I can definitely wait for this Fitness Boxing 2, which I picked up for the marathon too, which is it's on a stretch goal. I think $600. We raised $600, and I'll play Fitness Boxing 2, probably with my sister, and we'll try not to accidentally punch each other in the head. Also, active games are good to help keep me awake for a 24-hour marathon. It's nice to get up and jump around for a while. Also, one of my patrons, Ronan, bought this for me. So thank you, Ronan. That definitely Chicago. Welcome. I'm shutting the show down pretty quick, but Chaos, you got the special edition of Dread? Cool. Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. Oh yeah. I played that a while ago, or at least part of it, and I think I just got bored of it. um, I know where the game goes now, and I think I stopped before it actually got there, because I was just bored. Uh, it's one of those games where I felt like I was playing it for 4 hours, and I probably had only played it for like a little over an hour. But I was just, yeah, it didn't do it for me. But I think, from what I know of where it eventually goes and some of the gimmicks it throws at you in the towards the end, I think is, I don't know how well it works in context, but I think the idea is pretty clever. I also don't know how tastefully the subject matter is handled, because I haven't seen how it's handled, but hopefully well. Um, do I recommend any of those fitness games? Well, I haven't actually played this yet. I'll probably play it some. I will play this sometime before the marathon. Uh, one nice thing about Ronan donating this for me is it allows me to spend money on other things. Um, so I have some, like fitness boxing. So, for example, let me see if I can. So I bought, for the marathon, I bought this, which is a Bluetooth transmitter for my television speakers, which allows me to pair. Hello, it said hello to me. To pair, these. Yes, you're ready to pair. Shut up. I have to figure out how to actually. There we go. So, in years past, when I'd play a fitness game like during the marathon, like Just Dance or Ring Fit Adventure, I'd have the headphones on with the cable, leading away to the television, and I'd be jumping up and down and stuff and trying not to step on the cable and yank my headphones off my head. Also, I had to run a splitter and plug other headphones in, and which meant I could only have two things plugged in at a time. And if my sister and Dave were here, Super Metal Dave, someone couldn't listen to the TV at the time. But now I have the this Bluetooth transmitter, so we can all listen to the game at the same time, and I can also jump around and do the active games without my headphones falling off. Of course, it could jiggle right out of my ear too, but so that's some of the stuff I spend my Patreon cash on to help make these things better. What else? I forget which donation incentive this is. It's $800 or something. Center and Kagura Peach Beach Splash. This is the After Dark game that we'll play if we raise enough. It's a third-person team-based shooter starring, overly proportioned bikini women with squirt guns. So yeah, it's very, very, very tactful, and I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. Actually, I have played. I've got through the tutorial, and oh my god, this game has the longest, most boring tutorial on the face of the earth. I've already suffered through it, so if we raise enough money to play this, at least we'll get to the game, right? Then of course the drinking game we're doing. That's all the money to buy all the beverages. So you might think that the Extra Life charity events just sit on your couch and play video games. A lot of thought and work and actual money goes into this. I don't have the budget sitting in front of me, but it's like over $200. I think I have budgeted for the Extra Life charity event, and that counts hardware. This was donated, so that definitely helps. Different games, just, stuff to help make the show a lot better. So thank you, of course, to my patrons who make it possible to do fun things like this. Another thing that's going to be different this year is using Patreon money. I bought an internal capture card for my PC. Before I was using an external card. What that resulted in was all of the console games I played had about a 1.5 second delay. So I had to put an artificial 1500 millisecond delay on my video and audio to get it to sync up with the actual game footage. And of course that was never exact and it would desync over time. Now with an internal capture card, as you've seen with my Chaos says Splatoon with boobs, lol. That's exactly what it is. Splatoon with boob. I had to put that in my use that for my promotional stuff. So use my money, the ellipsis. Yeah, Peach Beach ain't bad though. The normal beat 'em up ones are better. I find. A couple of years ago we played Senran Kagura Relaxations or something like that. Reflections, Flexions, which is a Senran Kagura game in which you massage the girls. It is one girl. It is so weird. It's bad, but it's bad in a very entertainingly weird way. I have actually let me show and tell some more stuff. We did where is it? What the hell is it called? There it is. One year we did Gun to Gun Pixies, which was bad, but bad in an interesting way. Last year we played House of the Dead Overkill, which is a grindhouse shooter. Here's one I got a year or two ago. Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter. That sounds perfect for an Extra Life After Dark game, right? The premise of this one is you are a schoolgirl who hunts zombies. But here's the gimmick of the game. When you get hit, your clothes explode, so you're running around in your underwear. It's kind of like Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts, where when Arthur gets hit, his armor explodes and he's running around in his boxer shorts. Kind of the same idea. When any of the girls get, they've got machine guns and rocket launchers and shotguns and stuff. Whenever they get hit, their clothing gets torn. And the jiggle physics is so ridiculous that they bounce. A scene transition will make them bounce. So if you're in a cutscene and it's like, why Samantha? Did you notice there are zombies outside? The scene cuts over to Samantha, and just that cut makes her breasts go bongle, 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 bongle. It's like, what the hell is going on? Which is kind of funny, but this game is unbelievably dull. It is super damn boring. The central conceit, schoolgirls, zombie hunters, their clothes explode when they get hit, that's pretty funny. And the camera cuts making the boobs jiggle, that's pretty funny. But after 2 minutes of that, this game is just unbelievably dull. So I never actually featured this on an Extra Life charity event because it's genuinely just really boring and not fun at all to play. So I do curate stuff. That's the thing about content creation is if you don't do it, you might think that it just happens. What? You just sit in front of a camera and talk, or you just sit and you play video games. How hard is that? Well, you can, but most content creators put a lot more time, thought, and energy and money into this than you might think. So there you go. Just a quick little peek behind the scenes of as Chicago says, that's why they add the boob jiggling, because it's so dull. I mean, it's a zombie shooter. How do you make that boring? But somehow they managed to make it unbelievably dull. Viper says, oh, that one's fun. You can throw plants at zombies? I didn't make it that far in the game. Let's see. Viper says Reflections is just weird. Have you experienced the loot that is Valkyrie Drive? Valkyrie Drive, I have not. No. I'll have to... I recognize the name, but I'm not... Valkyrie Drive. But I'm not... It's not... I can't pull up an image of what that actually is. So... Anyway, well, I'm excited for the Extra Life Charity Marathon, and I hope you are too. And as I pointed out earlier, we've already raised, upper left, $225. So that's pretty awesome. What you're looking at is my current setup for the thing. You'll notice the scrolling stuff in the center. Yeah, it's just anyway, different scene that I'm working on. And that's other things. I have to set up the scene. I have to make sure all the slides are right. I have to make sure that the overlay is correct. I still need to make a bunch of the slides. I need to get the Ellipsis of Love story slides organized so that the live read of that can happen. I think that's is that the $800 stretch goal? I think it is. I need to download the commercial bumpers and edit those together so you have something to watch while I'm, using the restroom or eating dinner. Valkyrie Drive is weaponized lesbian. Oh, that one! Yeah. Okay, where you have the couples and one of them is like literally a sword, right? I think that's right. So it kind of reminds me of thematically a bit of a Revolutionary Girl Utina, where she has the other girl doing the back bend, and she pulls a sword out of her chest. She doesn't become the sword, she just somehow yanks I have not seen that in 20 years, but she yanks a sword out of her. I don't remember why, but I remember liking Revolutionary Girl Utina. It's to a degree. I'll have to watch that again. I remember thinking it was pretty good, but I don't remember why. Is it pretty... Anyone remember that show? Anyone remember if it's any good or not? Because my memory of it is very shaky. What are we talking about here? Back to what Chicago said a little earlier. Do I recommend any of the fitness games? It really depends on what you want to get out of them. I would say that something... I don't know about fitness boxing. Just Dance, I really wouldn't... Just Dance is like, if you like dancing, turn on the radio or your whatever playlist and just dance. Just Dance. Bring up music videos and follow along with your favorite artists. Even the way Just Dance gamifies things, I don't think works very well, because it's not a great... I don't think it's a great way to learn any of the choreography, because there's no real way to work on a particular section. It doesn't break down the moves. The way the characters are displayed, depth is really difficult to read. So, for example, anyone doing a... Can I actually back up enough for you to see what I'm doing? No, you can't. So you probably can't see my legs. Yeah, you definitely can't. But so I'm doing, a box step, which you can't see because there's a couch in the way. But you can probably tell that I'm taking a step forward, a step over, a step back, and back. Forward, over, back, and back. You can see me coming forward and going back. The way the Just Dance works is depth is really difficult to discern. So some of the dance moves are really difficult to follow along with, because I can't tell if their leg is in front or behind. That can be difficult. Ring Fit Adventure, I think, is the best one so far. It's definitely the most game-y. It's also one that scales pretty well. Like, if you're seriously into working out, you can strap weight on. Doesn't take much, just light wrist and ankle weights. That will be plenty. Maybe a 16 to 20 pound weight vest if you want to do that. those are kind of hard for if you're doing push-ups, because usually, depending on what the clasp is, the Velcro will rip out. But the thing about that game is, if you find exercise difficult to stick with, Ring Fit Adventure does a pretty nice job of gamifying exercise in a way that gives you goals to work toward, bosses to beat and levels to reach and experience to earn and new workouts to unlock. So I think Ring Fit Adventure, for anyone who has difficulty forcing themselves to work out, I think Ring Fit Adventure does a nice job of gamifying exercise in a way that makes it easier to stick with for over a longer period of time, and is scalable to anything from complete novice to moderate skill levels. I mean, if you want to do real heavy strength training, you're gonna need to get a weight bench or something. But otherwise, I think Ring Fit Adventure is does a pretty damn nice job of what it seeks to do. It meets its intention pretty well. That Wii balance board thing, Wii Fitness, that was garbage. I mean, it could teach you yoga, I guess, to an extent. Although yoga really requires an instructor to look at you and see where... Yoga is very form dependent, and that game does not have a good way, understandably so, it's just the balance board, of figuring out specifically what you might be doing wrong. So, for example, and again, can I... So, if you... So, for example, can you see what I'm doing? So, if you're doing a tree pose, I've got my... You can see my leg, right? So, if you're doing a tree pose, and you're falling over, and you're not steady, the game can't really tell what you might be doing wrong. If your knee is pointed forward, if it's not out to the side, or if your foot is too high on your leg, or what's going on. Some things just kind of need an instructor. Ring Fit Adventure doesn't really have that problem. It does a pretty nice job of explaining what you need to do, and it reads the motion pretty well. And very few of the exercises are so specific that they would really require trained eyes to spot what you're doing. You can at least figure out well enough. It's like, oh, this is easy. I must be doing something wrong, So, Ring Fit Adventure, I think, of the fitness games that I've tried, I think is definitely the best at being genuinely kind of fun to play. It's got a really cute and charming presentation, and succeeding in its actual intention of get you up and moving and get your heart rate elevated a bit for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever. So, Chicago says, I just want to keep active when winter hits. I've been doing cardio boxing off YouTube. I've just thought a fitness game might be fun. Ring Fit Adventure, cool things. I like the structured workout. It also has, and I thought about doing that this year, but we did Ring Fit Adventure last year and the year before, so I wanted to do something different this year. Next year, we might return to Ring Fit Adventure, but do the, I forget what it's called, but it's kind of a rhythm game mode, where, you have little circles on the screen flying at you, and you have to either, as they cross the threshold, you have to, press the ring in or pull it out on beat. Sometimes you have to hold in, hold out. Sometimes you have to turn it. That actually gets really difficult. And also, because you have the leg attachment, sometimes you have to squat and hold a squat. Of course, I mean, you could cheat and just hold your leg up Although you are balancing on one foot, so I don't know how much cheating that's doing, but it so there's a bunch of music tracks, and so it's a rhythm game with the with the Pilates ring, and it's actually pretty good. It's at least really frenetic and fun, and it's got a couple good tunes in it. Like I think there's a Jump Up Superstar. There's a from Mario Odyssey. There's a Zelda medley in there. So I think we might try that next year. Maybe that could be fun. There's also a pretty cool mode in Ring Fit Adventure that allows you to just string together if you just want to jog and you don't want to worry about any of the enemies that you face and you have to do the actual exercises. There's a mode where you can string together a bunch of levels and just run through them. That's a pretty good mode if you just want to jog. So it's a pretty. Oh, and there's also a couple random things in there, like how many times can you do that in 60 seconds or something. So it's a pretty nice pack. When I first bought the Ring Fit Adventure for the charity event, I think it was like $80. I think it's significantly less now, so the buy-in is not nearly as prohibitive as it was years ago. So yeah, if you're looking for something along those lines, I think Ring Fit Adventure is a pretty, as far as fitness entertainment goes, I think Ring Fit Adventure does a really nice job of it. And Nintendo, if you want to send me money for saying nice things, I'm not turning my nose up at it. Sounds like Face Raiders from 3DS. You know, I have a 3DS and I never actually bothered trying that. Jared says, I think the Oculus boxing and ping pong are good options for workouts. I've never tried any of the virtual reality stuff. Maybe when we're on the far side of this pandemic, I will go into Fry's Electronics and see if they're demoing it. But yeah, I don't want to. I'm not sticking my face into a helmet that other people have had their gross, sweaty heads in. So, and that's, they're hundreds of dollars. So, yeah, I would like to try VR at some point just to experience it, but it's prohibitively expensive, and there's no way currently to demo it in that I'm currently comfortable with. So, so a shame. Okay, I think that's it. I'm just kind of rambling because I'm excited about the charity event, and I hope you are too. I'm currently writing videos to promote the charity event, talking about the various donation incentives and stretch goals and such. Looks like there will be about 5 of those, and they should start. You should start seeing them in the last week of October, I think, when I really start pushing promoting the event, because we're still about 4 weeks out. But nevertheless, you can head extralife.org/participant/Andrew Eisen, and all the info's there if you want to get a sneak peek. It's all there for your perusal. And remember, donations of any amount allow you to submit suggestions for the drinking game. So every $100 we raise, I'll drink something new, non-alcoholic, because I don't drink. Alcohol's expensive, and I don't want to die, because we normally raise between like $1,000 and $2,000, so that's 10 to 20 alcoholic drinks in a 24-hour period, in which I'm sitting down and not sleeping. If I didn't die, I would definitely get very sick. So no alcohol, but anything else is fine. I mean, no poison either, obviously. But anyway, yeah, donate any amount of money, and in the donation form, there's add a message box. Just type in the name of whatever you want me to try and find, and if I can find it in San Diego, I'll do my best to pick it up. Oh, it has to come in single serving sizes too, because I mean, if it's only in a 2-gallon jug, I'm not buying it. I'm only budgeting $60 for this, so hopefully, so keep that in mind. Anyway, that's Oh look, eBay has Ring Fit Adventure for $509.95. Oh my god, do not buy it for that much. Good gracious. Is this out of print? Oh. Oh, I was wrong. Yeah, okay. Nintendo is being Nintendo and it has not dropped the price of this sucker. It's still a. You know what I was thinking of? Nintendo Labo. That was originally like, $60 to $80 depending on the kit, and I think those dropped to like $30 or somewhere. No, Ring Fit Adventure still about $80. I'm seeing a refurbished one for 70, but yeah, I'm seeing a bunch. There's one for 414. Oh no, that comes with a Switch. Um, yeah, still $70. That's a shame. So yeah, it's still pricey. Uh, Jared says, "Can I send you an ingredient list for a homemade one?" Sure. Where can you? Well, you can send that. Put that ingredient list in the message box on the donation form. So donate any amount and you know put it in. Just keep in mind that whatever the ingredients are. I mean, if the ingredients add up to like $50, I'm not going to do it. But if it's something I can, if it's something that's not prohibitively expensive, um, and the ingredients I can get in San Diego, then yeah, absolutely. Just head over to my donation page. There on the donation form is a little just checkbox, add a message, and put the ingredient list in there, and I'll see it. So that'll work. And any amount. So donate $1. That's fine. But every new thing I drink is every $100 we raise. So currently we have 225. So I will be drinking at least 2 new things on the stream. And it's a green drink. Okay, so I'm guessing it's mostly leafy grains and stuff. So yeah, that's fine. Collard greens or baby spinach or something. Well, make a donation, put it in the box, and I'll see what it is. But yeah, mixed drinks, as long as it's not prohibitively expensive and I can get the ingredients, yeah, that's fine. So soft drinks, sports drinks, green drinks, shakes, like protein shakes, smoothies, veggie smoothies, whatever, teas, coffees. I hate coffee. But I'll try one. Energy drinks, anything like that, perfectly fine. Just got to be able to find it. Got to come in single serving and non-alcoholic. Okay, I've been rambling for half an hour, so that's enough. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Join me tomorrow, noon Pacific Standard Time, for some more Trails in the Sky streaming goodness. What were we doing? I think we're at the Wolf Fort. Oh, we're investigating the mysterious earthquakes. That's what we're doing. So we are in Zeiss, I believe, investigating earthquakes. And we will continue with that stuff tomorrow. So have an excellent night, everyone. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.